FPL managers, welcome to the Game Week 23 transfer plans video. My name's the FPL Plug, and today we're going to be talking about how we got on in Game Week 22 and what our plans are going into Game Week 23, and of course that double in Game Week 24. We'll be talking about the double, the best forwards to be bringing in this week and next week, as well as the best midfielders. So first off, how did we get on in Game Week 22? As you can see here, not the best rank currently. So currently at 413k, I think we're down about 50k from this game week, only 43 points. And honestly, it was quite a stinking game week. Obviously, we captained Salah for those 6 points, which is, well, obviously 3 points doubled, which is not amazing. However, not too many people did very well, other than Chris Wood against Southampton. I know a lot of you in my comments were saying, Captain Chris Wood, Captain Chris Wood. But if you went off the stats, then he hasn't had many double-digit hauls, and he obviously doesn't get that much XG, but he is just so clinical. Obviously got that assist, got that goal against Southampton. I think the Southampton games are just going to be the best games to captain a player against. And maybe we'll talk about Isak very soon. However, overall, very disappointing. Happy that I had Trent Alexander-Arnold for that assist and the clean sheet for the 11-point haul. But everyone else really, really disappointed, other than Bruno Fernandes, who I might be looking to move on very soon. However, as you can also see here on the bench, we did have some big points that I did unfortunately keep on my bench. So Robinson with the 8-pointer and Kirkez with the 7-pointer. Really happy with Kirkez at the moment. He's actually getting some decent goal threat, and he has amazing fixtures coming up a little bit later on. So happy to keep him on the bench, and Robertson is just ticking along really, really nicely. Both good options for me to bring in if I do need them in my squad. But let's look past Game Week 22 now and have a look at the players that we might need to be bringing into our teams coming into the next few game weeks, and who I'll be looking to remove from my team personally. So starting off with the forwards, I'll talk about who I might likely be removing from my team a little bit later on in the video. But the best forwards that I'm currently watching at the moment are obviously Chris Wood. He's got amazing, maybe not amazing underlying data, but he's got good underlying data, and obviously has an amazing goal scoring record at the moment. However, doesn't have the best fixtures coming up. So that's the only reason that I think I personally won't be buying Chris Wood. I'm going to suffer each and every game week that he does well, and I'm maybe just forced to bring him in because so many people own him. And if you do own him, I'm not saying go out and sell him, but I don't think he's an amazing buy this week. I think the other two on this list are actually slightly better buys. And someone that's not on this list is Jean-Philippe Mateta. Has good fixtures coming up and also is playing very, very well. Not quite as good XG-wise as maybe his goal output actually shows, but obviously a great finisher, so someone that you could also consider, if not one of these three. However, the two that I will mainly be looking at bringing in this week, hopefully this week anyway, is Cody Gakpo at 7.4 million and Wisa at 6.2 million. So let's have a look into their data and the pros and cons for both of them. So obviously Gakpo has amazing fixtures. He has Ipswich at home next, and then obviously the double in 24, But Wisa also has good fixtures, especially for the next couple of game weeks. So Gakpo's next sort of 3 game weeks are really good. Then it drops off a little bit maybe. But both good fixtures, and I'm happy to keep both of them for those fixtures. However, I think this is the real kicker for me. Cody Gakpo's XG is 4.36, and he's obviously outperformed that a little bit by scoring 6 goals, and his XA is 2.59, underperforming a little bit with 2 assists. However, Wisa, who's actually 1.2 million less than Cody Gakpo, is getting 10 XG, or has got 10.23 XG, and slightly outperformed that by 11 goals. But that is an absolutely ridiculous amount of XG to have gained for a player. Obviously, Brentford are a great attack, and that obviously shows in Wisa's data. However, he does have less of an assist threat with just 0.8 XA, but he does also have 2 assists from that XA. So I think if we're looking purely at the data, then Wisa is the clear pick especially being cheaper at that cheaper price point of 6.2, it can let you upgrade somewhere else, maybe in that midfield line or the defensive line if you'd like to. However, Cody Gakpo does have those 2 fixtures in game week 24 against Bournemouth and against Everton. Yes, they are both away fixtures, but I do think both of those fixtures are very good for an attacker. I think Everton are looking a lot better under David Moyes attacking-wise. So going for a Liverpool defender might not be the best option, but still is not a bad option whatsoever. But also Bournemouth have looked really, really good, especially at St James's Park against Newcastle, with Cliver getting, I think it was a hat-trick, and then someone else scoring. So I don't think attacking the double with a defender is the best place. So then it's, who do we bring in from Liverpool to attack that double if, say, you're not playing the assistant managership? If you are looking to play the assistant managership, then obviously you can't triple up on Liverpool. So I would just double up with Salah and Trent and then leave it at that. Bring in Arne Slot for game week 24. It's a little bit annoying that you can't use him for that Ipswich game. However, you can bring him in for the double game week and then the game against Wolves. And then you can look to maybe switch to a different manager for that 3rd game. Someone that has a really, really good fixture. And then Wisa obviously has amazing XG and actually has really good fixtures going forward. So I think the forward that I would personally be looking to bring in at the moment for the long term is Johan Wisa. I think Gakpo is an amazing shout for the short-term fixtures, like maybe the next 3 game weeks. If you're happy to take a punt, then just take him out if he doesn't do too well over the next 3 game weeks. So I'll talk about my transfer plans in a later segment. So let's move on to the midfield shortlist. So as you can see here, I was running out of options for the midfield shortlist really. But obviously, in my opinion, Bryan Mbeumo is easily the best midfielder to be going for at the moment. Anthony Gordon obviously has that fixture against Southampton and he's just a great player in general. So if you do want to bring in just a solid player, midfielder, that's not too expensive in that sort of mid-range price point, then Gordon could be a good shout. I don't think he's ideal because of Newcastle's fixtures coming up aren't amazing. But if we look at his XG, he's got 7.19 and he scored 6 goals, so slightly actually underperforming. So he is getting a lot of chances with 4.27 XA and 4 assists. So he is going to get you FPL points. It's just the fixtures don't look ideal going forwards. But if you do have him for this Southampton fixture, then absolutely unbelievable. I just don't think he's an amazing buy. And then moving on to Trossard, slightly cheaper, so about $1 million cheaper than both of the other guys. At 3.69 XG, I think Trossard's more of a punty option. If you need a differential, I think he's a great option with Saka being out and Trossard actually playing fairly well for Arsenal. But obviously Arsenal's open play creativity isn't really there at the moment. So yeah, I like Trossard as a punt, but with 3.6 XG, it's about half of both of the other guys. So I probably wouldn't be going there. But yeah, like I say, if you need a differential, Trossard could be your guy. However, let's talk about a real option in FPL. So if you do need to move off a midfielder, someone like maybe Bruno Fernandes, not performing maybe to the standard that we require at that price point, then you could look to move to someone like Bryan Mbeumo. He's got 6.8 XG and he's massively overperforming his XG at the moment. Basically double his XG in 13 goals and then actually slightly underperforming his XA. However, Mbeumo and Brentford look really, really good. And with their fixtures, I think it is definitely worth going for a player like this. And Mbeumo is just a very decent FPL option as well. He's on penalties. He's in and around that sort of mix for the Brentford free kicks. I'm not sure exactly who does take free kicks, but I believe Mbeumo is sort of in and around that for the set pieces. So I think with penalties and the XG being okay and their fixtures looking really, really good, I think this will be a move that I make, if not this week, next week against Spurs. Could be an unbelievable fixture for Brentford, the way that Spurs are playing at the moment. So let's take a look at my actual transfer plans at the moment. So there's a few different scenarios that I could work with, but this is what I've set out for now. This is the main idea that I'm working with. It could change before the deadline. And if you do want to see that, make sure to follow me over on TikTok, FPLPlug. I will be doing a live stream. I also will be doing a live stream here. So as long as you're subscribed on YouTube, then you should be able to see when I go live and you can see my exact team on the deadline. But at the moment, I am planning to do Bruno Fernandes to Brian Mbeumo. Whether that's this week or next week, that will probably be my transfer that I will make. Saving up around 0.6 million, so getting a little bit more money in the bank. And one that will really get some money in the bank is Nicholas Jackson to Wiese. And I think I will do this transfer at least this week into game week 23 because Jackson has just looked absolutely awful. I watched the Chelsea game the other night and he was just horrible. He wasn't getting the service that he usually gets. So I'm happy to jump off Jackson and go to Wiese. However, I will talk about the possibility of moving off Jackson and also João Pedro to Wiese and Cody Gakpo because I could do that this week. I've got free transfers saved up. So that could be a possibility for me to do. Go down from Jackson to Wiese and go up from João Pedro to Cody Gakpo. And I just about have the money for that if I would like to do that. Attack the fixtures for Liverpool with Cody Gakpo. Use my triple captain on Salah for the double game week for Liverpool. And then save the Fernandes transfer until next week. Because Fernandes still has a decent fixture against Fulham. And Crystal Palace for Brentford isn't amazing. But it's better than Chelsea and against Manchester City, in my opinion. So last but not least, let's check out what my team would be looking like if I was to go for the AI sort of optimized team, if I didn't make any transfers. So obviously you can see here that Mo Salah is the best captain for this week and quite comfortably at that. 9.3 expected points is absolutely ridiculous. So I will be starting Salah, I will be starting Trent against Ipswich, no question about that. Gabriel against Wolves is possibly a little bit more of a question mark. Kirkes against Nottingham Forest is a bit crazy. I don't think I would personally do that, and I don't think I will be doing that, especially with Robertson against Southampton. The AI has put it last on the bench, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. So Hull will be coming in for Kirkes. However, the rest of the team would probably stay very similar. I would obviously play Nicholas Jackson instead of probably Ismail Assar. So if I swap them out, and then if I did say make my transfers for Nicholas Jackson and João Pedro for Gakpo and Wiese, I would start both of them. And then the team's looking really, really strong. If I make both of those transfers, which I'm most likely looking to do, I think this could be a good game week. We do need to get a few green arrows on the go to be able to get at least within the top 50k by the end of the season is the aim. But thank you very much for watching my video on Game Week 20. Make sure to join the deadline stream when the deadline does come around. Hit that subscribe button and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about your personal team and I'll try and answer every single one.